What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We've got a live CHGO Bulls pregame coming up for y'all right around the corner. Game 80, and it could not be higher stakes. Bulls hosting the Heat here in Chicago. Winner almost assuredly gets home court when they will likely face each other again next week in the NBA play-in tournament. We'll break it down next. Which one has the bigger game tonight? What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls pregame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck Bulls_Peck. That's my guy, Big Dave. Bam! Bam! BAWL Sports, the queen of the controls, the one and only Katie Duffy. What up, Katie?
Are you not entertained?
Game 80! Pew, pew! Willie Gottlieb is at the UC for tonight's action. Make sure you're following him for his in-game updates. Will_Gottlieb. We will talk to the quaff in postgame.
Yes.
Wow. Here we are, Dave.
It all leads down to this.
It all comes down to this, baby. Don't tell me there are no stakes to this Bulls season. The Bulls and Heat each holding a 36-43 record coming into this one. The Bulls already owners of the head-to-head tiebreaker because they are 2-0 against the Heat so far this season in their head-to-head series. A win for the Bulls tonight essentially would lock in the 9th seed in the East, home court in the 9 versus 10 play-in tournament game. If they lose to the Heat tonight, they're in trouble because the Heat, just like the Bulls, have some pretty cupcake games remaining in games 81 and 82. The Bulls and Heat each still have the Wizards left on the schedule.
Yes.
The Heat play the Pelicans, or Pelicans, if you want to go that route. And the Bulls' other game is the tank commanding 76ers. So tonight essentially has the win and you get home court attached to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is what the Bulls clearly were playing for, was to get to this point. That's why they sat all those guys, was to put every single thing on this game. It's a big game for them. I have to look at it from the player's perspective right now because I can't look at it from another perspective. You guys will be upset. And I guess the player's perspective, I mean, this is what they kind of put you out here for, is you want to play in these kind of games. You wanted the young guys to have this kind of feel and to be ready, to take on this kind of challenge. They're going to put their best foot forward. The Heat are definitely going to put their best foot forward. I don't think there'll be anything held back from either side as far as, let me hold this for the play-in or anything like that. No, they're going to leave it all out there on the floor tonight. And as somebody who loves watching basketball, that's a wonderful thing to see when both teams are truly 100% competing against each other because they both want this.
Shout out to everybody hanging out with us in the comments. All you out there in Bulls Nation, hit the like button like our friend Craig Winston told you to do. Or as Force Within said, me likey, you likey. I think that means hit the like button.
It does.
Our pal Devin said modest Buzz Lightyear going off for 50 tonight. Camwin thinks that Patrick Williams is having a 69-point night tonight.
Nice.
Incorrect. I'll bet you $1,000 he doesn't.
Oh, he's got the money.
You know who might have a 69-point night tonight, Dave?
Tell me.
Luka Doncic. I see people in the comments talking about that too. Also, shout out to our guy, French Bulls TV, who said, Bulls pissed me off yesterday with this resting players BS after telling us all season they played for the integrity of the game and want to win every game. They better win tonight.
Exactly. I honestly was saying this in my head as I was getting dressed. Everything you just said, because I'm still bothered by it. I am. It didn't make any sense. It completely goes against everything you said you wanted to be. So you're not cool with tanking for a lottery, but you're cool with tanking for a play-in game. And call it what you want, guys. What they did yesterday was tanking. That was absolutely tanking. So for those of you all who are against it and like it doesn't work, it doesn't do it, they just did it. All right? So be mad at them. Go ahead and turn all that vitriol and hate towards them as well because they think it works, but only when they need it to kind of work. So, but I completely just did not like it. Like, until you tell me I can't any longer have it or get it, I think you should still be going for it. So if you're like, there's still a chance that, you can go ahead and move up to an HC. It's a slim chance, but it's a chance. It's a chance. Great. I'm going ahead and I'm going to go try, to do this. And I'm going to do it against the number 1 seed in Cleveland. For me, that's saying, we can't beat Cleveland anyway. So everybody just go ahead and sit. Like, even if we play them, like, I don't know if we can beat those guys. So let's go ahead and sit and just put it all on this game. I hate the connotation behind it. I hate everything about it. I do. I cannot stand it. I get it logically, why they did it. I truly understand it. I do. I will never be okay with it, man. I'm just not.
And it's, I've seen some Bulls fans on Twitter over the last, 24 hours saying, maybe that's not why they did it. Maybe it's just that, Giddey is dealing with a minor injury and Vooch is dealing with a sore calf still, and they're just being careful. And it's a back-to-back. One of these 2 games in the back-to-back is more important, obviously, so let's make sure they're healthy for that one without maybe as much of the buying into, well, it's mostly because, they really want home court in that 9 versus 10 game. And they weren't willing to risk having tired legs tonight. Because it could, and it's like, okay, but I agree with you, Dave. You had still a mathematical chance, slimmer now after the loss to the Cavs last night, to move up all the way to 7th even, or even the 7 versus 8 series so that you get 2 chances to make your way to the actual big boy playoffs, which is what we have been hearing about all the time. That's where I want to go. And Billy Donovan said recently, and he relayed to the media that he said to his guys, I'm telling them, look, the standings are what they are. These games are important. These are the stakes. This is where we are. We need to go out there and try and win all these games. And according to Callie's reporting, that at least 3 of the 4 most recent starters, Giddey, Vooch, and Coby, the 4th being Herter, who is, I guess, dealing with a more serious injury, the neck strain, wanted to play in that game last night. And I'm guessing Billy would have liked if they played last night because Billy was coaching to win that game last night. Those were over Billy's head. Those were over the player's head, those decisions that were made. And I think those decisions were from people who thought, we can afford to lose this Cavs game and still go as the 9th. We want home court. Let's make sure we do everything we can to increase our odds of a victory against the Heat on Wednesday. It's plain as day why they did it.
It's right in your face. Back to your point, Matt, about injuries. Like maybe Giddey is hurt. We saw, like you said, we saw him with the brace on. Maybe Vooch was resting. Maybe Herter is out. I get all that. If the injuries were real, then they're real. Explain Coby White. That's all I'm asking you. Explain that.
Parentheses, rest.
Explain it. If you're sitting dudes because they're hurt, why did he sit? You know what I mean? He was ready to play. The streak he's been on, and you just turn that off. I don't like it. I don't like. The more I talk about it, the more I just really don't like it at all. Everything has to work and come down to tonight. It has to work for them tonight. And then after tonight, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like you'll be up 1 game, but you'll still be a tiebreaker game. There's still a chance that the Heat might lose or a game against the Wizards or whoever's the Pelicans.
Right.
They still might lose a game. You don't know. The Bulls might lose out. They might win out. I don't know. But to put it all on this right here and say this is the end all be all, it's really not because there's still a chance after this from both teams to either have a 9 or a 10 seed. It's huge, colossal, still a chance.
Liam Paddo in the comments said, Bulls are definitely going to lose that game to the Cavs, though, to be honest. If it was any other team other than top 5s, I would strongly disagree with the strategic loss. Okay, but here's the thing.
Bro.
If you, it's the Cavs, so of course they're going to lose. Then by that same logic, why do you want so badly to go to the first round to play the Cavs to learn that 4 more times? What is the point of that exercise?
Boom.
If you, the Bulls, think we can't beat the Cavs, then why have you been trying so hard in the month of March to get your shot at going and then simultaneously pass up your chance at 2 chances to get there instead of 1.
Yeah.
By sitting guys in that game.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
None of it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. And again, I didn't even want to go this way and get on this in the show.
Integrity.
But, the truth is what it is, man. And that's what happened. But it's all on tonight. The guys have to be ready tonight to play. They're all going to be in there to play. I don't know. Matt hasn't read me the injury report yet. So, but I know that the Heat are going to be prepared. That's all I truly, truly know is they understand how huge this game is and what this game really means. As I said on the last pregame show, the Heat stink on the road. They are 16-23. And unfortunately, the Bulls aren't great at home.
Isn't that
either.
Also the Bulls' home record?
I was about to say, they are 16-22. You know what I'm saying? At home. So, but you
Protect
still
home court, AK.
You still want to, play at home in a postseason game because, as I mentioned, when they play the Heat, Matt, in those previous 2 play-in games, both of them were on the road, and they lost both of those games in Miami. You don't want to do it a third time. You want to switch it up and get that home court. I get it. That is exactly what you want to do. We'll see because the Heat understand where they are and who they've been. The problem with the Heat, too, is ever since the Jimmy Butler game against Golden State, they've been a completely different basketball team. Tyler Hero looks like, damn, he is out there balling out. Davion Mitchell is hitting threes. That's terrifying because he's a really great defender. Bam Adebayo is Bam Adebayo, guys. And Wiggins, he's been solid. Like, he sat out a few of those games for injury. I think he's playing tonight, but he's been solid for them, man. Like, and then, of course, you have the trump card, which is Eric Spoelstra, who is an amazing, outstanding coach and who knows his opponent. Now, this is a different Bulls team. This is a team that likes to run, get out, and can hit the 3 and will take threes. This is something completely different than the Heat have seen these past 2 seasons. So, and the Bulls were able to win the game against them in the regular season in Miami with Josh Giddey hitting a 3 to win the game. Hitting the go-ahead 3, I should say, to win the game. So they've already got a taste of what the Chicago Bulls team can be and what this team can do. And we'll see how they come out and go against them. I will never be for the Heat. I hate the Heat. The Heat can go straight to hell. I'm just stating what it is right here. And the Chicago Bulls are definitely going to have their big boy pants on tonight.
Right to jail. Curse you, Heat.
Curse you.
You mentioned the injury report, so let's get into that.
Sure.
Coby, who just sat out last night with rest, obviously active and in that starting lineup, alongside Giddey, who was still on the injury report today with that wrist, along with Vooch, who gets the green light and is starting, dealing with the sore calf. Kevin Huerter gets the green light, dealing with that strain in his neck. And we were wondering about this. Yes, indeed, Modest Buzelis in that starting lineup. Will he be again come play-in tournament time? I should hope so.
You better be.
But that is your Bulls starting 5. Obviously, that means still no sign of Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
With his wrist injury, Trey Jones with the foot sprain out. We'll get to the big game he had against the Heat earlier this season.
Ooh, big game.
Jalen
Right.
Smith, game-time decision, as well as, of course, Io being out. Jalen with that ankle sprain that has come back and nagged him every once in a while throughout the back half of this season. Be interesting to see if he is available, if Billy elects to go more so Jalen Smith or more so Zach Collins.
Yeah.
But either way, calf strain be damned, calf soreness be damned. I would expect 34-plus minutes for Vooch tonight.
Oh, you better believe it. He will be out there, and I believe getting the ball early and often. I'm interested to see how they attack this Heat defense because the Heat I told you the one thing the Heat like to do is take away what you like to do best. And what's great about what the Bulls are right now is they have several guys on the floor who are doing something really well. Josh Giddey, Coby White, and Nikola Vucevic. They haven't been able to have that approach in these past few seasons because it was DeMar DeRozan and it was Zach LaVine, but sometimes Zach would be hurt. And it was then all DeMar DeRozan, you know what I mean? And then you knew it made it very simple of what to take away. What do you take away in this? And then the wild card is Modest Buzelis, as you mentioned. If Modest is on and he's hitting his shots and you know how competitive he is, they could be in for one, man. And the Chicago Bulls could be a team that is really, really threatening. Like Tim Legler believes that the Bulls can be that kind of basketball team. I honestly do too, because this is how they've been playing this entire month of March. And we'll see it continue because this is their biggest game of the season right now.
And for the Heat tonight, they also had a very long list of their injury report today. Bam Adebayo, Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Alec Burks all dealing with various injuries, all active. The Heat starting lineup tonight: Hero, Burks, Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware.
Ooh.
Wiggins was the only real question mark of that group, whether or
Right.
not he would play. He's been dealing with a hamstring, but he is active and in that starting lineup for the Heat tonight. They do have a couple of guys out who have been out for a while. Nikola Jovic, the other Nikola, J-O consonant I-C, broke his hand back in early February, I think. He is still on the shelf. Drew Smith ruptured Achilles, had surgery to repair that. He's done for the year. Kevin Love has been out for a while. Remember Kevin Love?
I've heard of him.
Remember Kevin Love?
You know, I know him on Instagram.
Man, sure.
Yeah.
This will be his 10th straight game out with an excused personal absence.
Wow.
Kevin Love has only played 23 games for the Heat this season and only 4 since February 5th.
Wow.
So Kevin Love has been MIA.
That new Udonis Haslam.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like, bro.
Just every once in a while, you need Kevin Love to just pop into the locker room and be like, hey, guys, go get him.
Here's the rings. Look at them. You know what I mean? All right, let's get to work.
So given the stakes of tonight's game and the fact that some things are the same, some things are different, I thought it would be good exercise to journey back to these 2 Bulls wins they have over Miami so far this season.
Okay.
So let's go from most recent and then even further back in the past, because there are some similarities in the trends of these 2 games. Let's start with the Bulls win over the Heat on March 8th.
Okay.
Final score, Bulls 114, Heat 109. The Bulls trailed by as many as 17 early in that game.
Definitely. They
trailed by 9 entering the fourth quarter. Both teams did not shoot well behind the arc. In that one, the Bulls were 11 of 42, Heat 13 of 43. It was an uggo shooting night, which between Bulls and Heat over the years, we've seen plenty of.
Yeah.
The Bulls, this I think was the biggest key to their victory, beat up the Heat at the free throw line. Did not matter that the Heat took 9 more field goal attempts than the Bulls because both teams shot from the field so poorly. The Bulls made 23 free throws to the Heat's 14. Josh Giddey led the way for the Bulls with a 26-point triple-double. Coby White, and this is another key tonight, not just the team, but Coby specifically getting to that free throw line. Coby, if you recall, had an awful night shooting. He was 0 of 8 from downtown, but he was 9 of 9 at the line, making up for that bad shooting night, a part of that Bulls dominance at the free throw line, Dave.
You know, Josh Giddey, I mean, he played, as I mentioned, that 3 that he hit to basically seal the victory. He had an incredible game. And the 18 and 15 also, Zach Collins had an incredible game for the Bulls. So guys stepped up on the road, and we know the Bulls play a better game on the road. Those free throws, Matt, are huge. And it's huge because the Bulls are not a great half-court offense team. So when you can get to the line and slow the game down that way by getting free throws, that's part of your half-court offense. And that's why it's really big that guys like Coby and guys like Giddey can get to the line. And Modest, too. He will be that. Remember, I said that. In the future, Modest will be at that free throw line a lot. So that's huge, you know, for the Bulls. We'll see how they try to counter that tonight as far as the Heat is concerned, because there's nothing you can do about the refs. They're going to let you know early what they're going to call and how they're going to call it, if they're going to let you be physical, if it's going to be more touch foul oriented, whatever. But Coby White has shown you, I'm getting to the line at least 6 to 8 times at minimum. So that's going to be big, man, for them tonight. They really are going to need that.
They are. As you just mentioned, that big double-double from Collins, that was while Vooch was sitting out with that same calf injury earlier this season. So Vooch was a DNP. Collins got the start over Jalen Smith and had that monster double-double. I mentioned Trey Jones earlier. Trey Jones also started this game because of various guys who were out. And put up just a casual 15, 5, and 5. One of the first signs that we got of like, yo, Trey Jones.
Yeah.
This dude could ball.
He had some big buckets in that game.
Big buckets, man. Big buckets. So obviously no Trey Jones for the Bulls tonight. He was a big factor in their win on March 8th. And then as far as from the Heat side of things, I mentioned their poor shooting that matched the Bulls' poor shooting. The Heat got 20 or more each from Wiggins, Bam, and Hero. They also had big performances off the bench from Terry Rozier and Duncan Robinson, who combined for 27 points. I think bench scoring could be another very interesting factor to tonight's game.
Watch Duncan Robinson. Please.
Yeah, and then especially who it is that Billy chooses to bring off that Bulls bench.
Yes.
You know, Herter's in the starting lineup now. So is Modest. So how much of Pat are we going to see after he played respectably last night when he had one of his epic Pat no one's here, no one cares games? 21. How much Julian do we see, if any? How much Dalen do we see, if any? Dalen had a really rough first half last night.
He did.
Billy benched him to start the second half. So like a lot of different ways that Billy could go with his bench rotation.
You raised a great point because we'll also learn the rotation tonight that Billy's going to go with in the play-in. That's a great point.
Could be a play-in preview as far as Billy's rotation goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then journeying further back another month to February 4th when the Bulls won 133-124. Again, a big fourth quarter deficit. The Bulls trailed by 12 entering the fourth quarter of this one. The Bulls fared better than the Heat shooting from the field, although both teams shot considerably better in this one than they did in that game on March 8th. The Bulls shot nearly 53% from the field, nearly 46% from three, compared to Miami's 47.8 and 38.6 respectively. So both teams a much more efficient night from the field. The free throw line battle was close. The Bulls were 18 of 22, the Heat 21 of 26. But the Bulls in the fourth quarter, as they overcame that 12-point deficit, as a team went 11 of 12 at the free throw line in the fourth. And most of those came in the final minute or two when the game was tight before they pulled away. And they pulled away because many different Coby, Pat, Ayo, and Giddey all went to the line in the final 90 seconds of that game and knocked down a pair.
Yeah, that's huge. What I truly remember about that game is that was the first time I gambled on that Bulls game. Cody told me to take Modest. I did. And as you mentioned, Modest balled out. And then I can't remember. Oh, he said take Bam out of Bio. I took Bam. And
Wasn't that the one where Bam had a pretty quiet game?
Yeah, pretty quiet. I think I had points and rebounds at like over 30-something, and I think he was like either a point or half a point.
He started slow. He did finish with 23 points.
Yeah.
But I think the rebounds killed you.
Yeah. Hurt me bad. Hurt me bad. And I was like, no, this doesn't work. But I had not yet heard of Bet365. So
hey, there you go.
That's the issue. But yeah, it was a great game by Modest, though.
Who stole some of those rebounds from Bam? Because it was Khalil Ware, their rookie, who had that big 17 and 12 game.
He did.
For Miami. A big one. So here, you just mentioned the Modest game. That was the Modest game.
Yeah, man.
Where he shot 100% from the field, 10 of 10, 4 of 4 behind the three-point line, 24 points off the bench. That's back before Modest said, hey, coach, Pat's not very good. I should probably start.
Nah, not yet, kid. Not yet. I scored 20 twice, and he hasn't scored 20 at all yet.
A big factor in that game was Modest's 24 off the bench. Here's the other one that I think is key. We just mentioned in that March 8th win, Trey Jones had a big game for the Bulls and will not have his services tonight. Back on February 4th, you know who was still playing? Not only Ayo Dosunmu, but Lonzo Ball.
Ooh.
Those two combined to play 58 minutes in that February 4th win.
Ooh.
Lonzo, not a big box score night, but just doing his Lonzo thing.
Yeah, he does.
Defensive presence, a little stat here, a little stat there. Obviously came out of the game a net positive.
Yes.
But Ayo Dosunmu in that first win against Miami, 21 points, 9 dimes.
Huge. And I think what you've pointed out in both of these is there was always a second or third party guard that helped carry the Bulls to these victories. So in your first one, he mentioned Ayo Dosunmu, the 21 and the 9. In the second one, it's Trey Jones with the 15 and the 5 were huge. So who will be that person for the Chicago Bulls tonight? Because neither one of those guys will be out there for the Chicago Bulls. They're still going to need somebody to supplement that and give you those kind of points when everything else has been shut down. That's what good defensive teams do and good coaches do. They shut it all down, but there is no defense for somebody who they didn't clearly plan for getting those kind of points. And that's why you need your second tier and your third tier players to do their thing. That points to guys like Dalen Terry. That points to guys like Julian Phillips. That even points to guys like Patrick Williams. They have to go ahead and just let it out there, let it all hang out there on the floor, man, and do their best to try to get the Bulls to this victory.
Speaking of Dalen and Pat, French Bulls fan in the comments saying, Dalen Terry's been kind of meh lately. Need a big game from him tonight. And Devin saying, Pat Will going for 48 tonight.
Okay.
Parentheses, minutes spent musing to himself the purpose of life, unbothered by the frivolous theatrics of the action around him.
Well done.
48 minutes spent musing to himself.
Meandering.
I love that. Whether he is on the court or sitting on the bench.
Yeah, either one.
48 minutes. Yeah. He'll be musing the whole time.
That's what's going to happen.
What is the purpose of life? I don't know, but I don't think it's basketball.
Flowers. Raising them.
Oh, my goodness.
He's got to do something tonight, man. They need him.
Last note on that February 4th win, Giddey and Coby, both decent games, nothing crazy from either of them. They each scored in the low 20s. They each had 7 dimes. Vooch was active in that one.
Okay.
And a very modest Vooch-like 12 and 11 double-double. Speaking of Vooch double-doubles, let us now, with our remaining time, get to our Bet365 pregame picks. Pregame picks presented by Bet365. Don't forget that promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Yeah.
And that's the one I started with. Vooch is back tonight after getting a night off. I think Billy is going to lean on Vooch minutes tonight, knowing how crucial this game is. I agree. I think you would probably look to see them, whether it's Giddey or Coby as a setup man, looking for Vooch touches early. And so with that, I said plus 100 for a Vooch double-double tonight. Why not?
Why not, man?
The last time Vooch played a Heat, he got himself a double-double.
He did.
It was a modest one, but it was there.
But it happened.
So that's where I'm going to start. Love plus money on Vooch, just having a Vooch double-double. Josh Giddey, big game. All you people out there who think I don't believe in Josh Giddey and his greatness, here you go.
You hate him, man.
Combined points, boards, and assists for Josh Giddey is 35.5, minus 115 odds. Give me the over.
Give it to him.
Give me the over.
Hand it over.
He came just shy of that mark in their win on February 4th. In their win on March 8th, his 26-point triple-double night destroyed that 35.5 line. Easily cleared it. So why not? Give me the Giddey combined points, boards, and assists. Also, last one, and this one we just highlighted there.
Okay.
What was true for both of these games against the Heat? They came into the fourth down big.
They did.
The Bulls had themselves some rally caps and pulled out wins in each of them. So, fourth quarter, I'm taking the Bulls to win the fourth quarter by 3 or more points. And you're getting plus 165 juice on that. Will it be enough if they are trailing coming into the fourth? Who knows? Will it be the Bulls padding to their lead because they're already ahead? Who knows? But I am a man who believes in science, numbers, and history. So, seeing what the Bulls did to the Heat in the fourth quarter of each of their previous 2 matchups, give me the Bulls to cover 3 in the fourth quarter. At those odds, I love it.
Sounds likely, sounds smart. I think you guys should be doing that too.
Dave, do you feel like you want to put any juice on anything tonight? Because you said the last time you put an actual wager down on NBA basketball was Bulls Heat, and it was modest.
No, I did another one after. That was my first one.
That was your first one.
That was my first one. I did another one after that, and that went terribly as well.
Yeah.
It was against Philly, and it was Modest and Kelly Oubre Jr., and Oubre Jr. did his thing, and Modest did not. But yeah, so I was 0 for 2 in that. But again, it was not with Bet365, and that's why it's tempting. I'm going to chill on this one. I think I'll save it for maybe a play-in game.
Okay.
I'll put something on there and unleash my greatness of gambling upon the world when the Bulls make their postseason appearance against the Heat. It will be against the Heat. So, yeah, not tonight.
Not tonight.
I will live vicariously through you and your excitement and your joy, sir.
So, yeah, and look, the overall spread on this game is pretty tight. I think it's actually the Bulls were getting a point or a point and a half coming into it, even as the home team. Bulls Heat, these are 2 weird teams. I didn't put any money on the spread to begin the game. What I will also advise y'all to do out there, if you want to have some fun putting some bets down tonight, Bet365. Whichever team takes that lead, first quarter, first half, if that lead creeps into the double digits, look at that live line. And whichever team is down, bet them to cut into that. I mean, I can almost guarantee you that will happen because Bulls Heat scripts always play out like that.
He's been making a killing doing that, y'all.
Bulls go down 10?
Yeah.
Bet the Bulls.
Yeah. He's been very excited doing those kind of
Bulls
things.
Bulls are up 10? Bet the Bulls to cough up that lead.
There it is.
This is how it
money
works.
in your pockets each time.
That's
right.
That's
what it's about.
That is right. Those are your pregame picks brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Don't forget to use that promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Must be 21 and older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wait, I have one question for Katie.
Sure.
Katie, do you gamble? I don't think I've ever asked you this.
No, I used to, and It's not like I bet big. I put like $1 down on something.
Okay.
But I was still losing, so no. Now I only bet on the Super Bowl every year. That's it. I'll deposit like $20. I'll put some bets down with my family, and then I cash out.
So it's a family thing then.
Yeah, it's a bonding thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's my money, of course. Nobody else puts in for it.
Of course. Katie, money bags.
French Bulls fan said that Dave's saving that gambling money for WrestleMania in Vegas.
Hey, let's go, baby.
How do you gamble on something that's scripted? I don't understand that.
Because it might be scripted, but you don't know per se what's going to happen and how it's going to go down.
Yes, but I'm guessing that the odds makers do.
There are other things within it. Also, you can gamble about it. How many times will he kick out of the finishing move?
So like silly Super Bowl prop bets.
Yes,
but
you can do your
wrestling.
prop bets all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how will they come down to the ring?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how long will the match go? Like, all those things you can kind of still bet on. But I don't know. Like, that's the beauty of WrestleMania.
So whether it's like a foil or like a hero character or whoever's like the MC, do they do it? Could you put a bet down like the length of the national anthem being sung at the Super Bowl? Is it, over or under 1 minute and 59.5 seconds?
That's a great question.
Or like, some character monologuing?
That's a great question. It's a great question, man.
Because if so, I would totally just gamble on that for fun.
Okay, well, bet. I will find that out for you. And you will make your bets on Bet365 and you will enjoy WrestleMania that way, which is the correct way for Matt to enjoy it through gambling, ladies and gentlemen.
Our friend Anthony in the comments saying, can't support this game because of how Bulls management and ownership looks at it as a success. Well, they're not there yet. If they win tonight and lock up home court against the Heat in the play-in tournament next week, they'll consider that a success.
Yes.
AK will take a victory, not parade, not lap, but parade. But if that's how you feel, and also shout out to our friend Juan Miller in the comments who said, I know the Bulls well enough to know that if you want them to win, they will lose. That is kind of how they have treated their fans recently. A lot of people after that beatdown of Atlanta in playing game 1 came into playing game 2 against Miami with all kinds of confidence. And I sat here and I was like, okay, let's see how that goes.
I did see someone in the comments, which I thought was awesome, say, well, Matt, if they went out, then your prophecy will be fulfilled because not 2, not 4, but always 3. And I was like, shout out to that young lady who said that. True. She absolutely understands.
I think, that would be hilarious, but what would be perfect is if they go 38-44.
Oh, why would that be perfect?
They 2 years ago went 40-42. Last year, they go 39-43.
Okay.
This year, they go 38-44. We won't accept mediocrity. We will, however, not only accept, but embrace just being one win worse every year. Until maybe something changes, but probably not.
Real quick, first quarter of the Lakers-Mavs games. Lakers up 24-21. Luka has he has 11 of that 24.
Okay.
Right now. So he's doing his thing. He's cooking already.
I like it.
He's cooking.
But as far as that comment from Juan.
Now he has 14.
There you go. Knock down that 3. For those of you who are worrying like, when I really want a Bulls W, they screw it up and they get an L. Just know this, and hate on me all you want, I don't care. Find comfort in the fact that I am rooting for a Bulls L tonight because I don't want them to get that home playing game because they don't deserve it.
Find comfort.
So if you think, hey, Peck really wants an L tonight, maybe take that logic as they'll probably win tonight because they love making me miserable.
It's true.
All right, we have passed the 7 o'clock hour here in Chicago. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out with us in pregame. We appreciate it. Appreciate the likes. Hit that like if you haven't done it yet. On your way out, we will be right back here for postgame. After this one, big stakes.
Huge.
Who comes out on top? Pow. Let's watch. Find out. See you. It'll be good.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.